God bless America, my home, da 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 da, sweet da 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 da, home. Happy Independence Day, you filthy savages. Now, who wants to sing My Country 'Tis of Thee? No more songs ever, especially patriotic ones. Why not? I'm a proud, God-fearing American, and today is its birthday. Only cockroaches and communists wouldn't feel happy enough today to ring out in song.
Then I'm a cockroach.
Ooh, can I be a communist?
Whatever, Redcoats, I guess I shouldn't have expected you guys to love the greatest country to have ever existed in time itself.
The United States isn't the greatest country to ever exist.
Is too. We've got freedom and religion and guns and capitalism.
You only think those things because the lizard overlords have brainwashed you. The truth is that we are all slaves to corporate interests that control every aspect of our lives. America is a prison state, and we're the inmates.
We aren't a prison state.
We are too. Look at the evidence. Corporations being treated like individuals, the super rich committing crimes and never seeing jail time, the continued broadcast of those Real Housewives shows. We have the illusion of freedom. It's like the Matrix, but without the cool clothes or cyber pussy.
No, I'm with Gary. Some things are bad here, but there are some good things too.
Yeah, we're awesome. We're the world distributor of kick-ass awesomeness. It's our primary export.
I said that there were bad things as well, Fundy.
Like what? There's nothing that the good old US of A isn't number one at.
There is literally a shit ton of stuff that we're not number one at.
Name one.
Education! According to PISA scores, we're 24th in literacy, 35th in math, and 23rd in science. In fact, we're not number one regardless of the subject.
But we have the most well-funded education system in the world.
Actually, the country that spends the most of its GDP on education is Kiribati. We're ranked at 54th.
Number one, who cares about the GDP? And two, Kiribati is some made-up Middle-earth country.
It's an island nation in the Pacific.
Fine. In a few years, after Antarctica melts away, they'll be underwater and won't be number one anymore. Go America! We may be dumb, but at least we'll be dry. All I know is that our government spends way too much of my taxes on education.
You don't get taxed, you run a church.
I pay them in spirit.
And the U.S. is 8th in government expenditures for education.
I know who's first.
Let me guess. France?
Mexico!
Mexico? Now I know you guys are making things up. Look, it's real simple. We're number one. Got it? We're number one in freedom.
What kind of freedom? We're 46th for freedom of the press, 24th for freedom from corruption, 10th in economic freedom, and 61st in monetary freedom.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still good when it comes to individual rights.
Unless you work at Hobby Lobby.
Look, we can sit here all day and go over where the U.S. is so much better than everywhere else.
Except in infant mortality.
And longevity.
And erection length.
Erection length?
We're ranked 50th. Ecuador has the biggest dorks.
That's impossible. The U.S. has the biggest boners in the world.
Well, if you base the findings on secondhand reports and not on documented measurements, then we're number one. Look, it's not all bad. We're number one in a few things.
Of course we are.
Like incarceration. We lock up more of our own citizens than anybody else.
And we're number one in super rich people.
Prisoners and one percenters brings a patriotic tear to your eye, doesn't it?
Well, I know we're number one in female figure skaters.
Not to mention we're number one in wine consumption, plastic surgeons, boob jobs, small arms imports, and for high-income democracies, we're number one in death by violence.
Oh man, I want to sing again. I'd ask you guys to join me, but you guys hate America. Just a minute. I don't hate America.
Yeah, just because we don't go around shouting like jackoffs about how great the United States is, doesn't mean that we don't love our country.
I hate America.
That's 'cause you think it's controlled by hyper-intelligent toasters.
But it is!
Well, you guys have a funny way of showing your love. When I love something, like God for instance, I never say anything bad about them.
Even when you see that there are problems?
Especially when I see that there are problems. I just take all of those problems I see and I say to myself that they don't exist. And after a decade or two, they don't. It's called unconditional love. It's called an abusive relationship. You can love your country and still criticize it. If it weren't for people who didn't love their country and see it realistically, then things would never change. Blind love is stupid. Well, unless you're dating an ugly guy.
Well, the US can get pretty ugly, but I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Me too.
I want to live on Jupiter.
As far as I'm concerned, you've been living there since the day I met you.
What do you guys think?
Is it truly patriotic to blindly support your country and ignore its deficits?
Or can you love your country and still acknowledge that it has things it needs to improve?
Or are all those people's parasites, suckling from the big breasts of Mommy America and complaining that the milk isn't as fresh as it could be?
Comment. Hey, I just remembered some more stuff America is number one at.
Just keep them to yourself. I'm all statisticed out. Well, I wanna know.
We're number one in cheese, oil consumption, and nuclear power plants.
3 of my favorite things.
Oil consumption and power plants?
Yeah, every Sunday, me and Raul drive our SUV to the Glowing Hills power plant and have a picnic lunch under the cool shade of the cooling towers.
There is one thing we're number one with, but I'm hesitant to say what it is.
Is it airports? We're number one in airports.
Well, is it apple juice concentrate? Spiny-tailed lizards? What?
America is number one in Christians.
I told you this was the greatest country on earth! Hello, my fellow Opinion Villagers. Today is July 4th, 2014, and it's Boombox Parade Day, Independence Day, Independence from Meat Day, and Indivisible Day. Now let's get on with the questions. First up, All Hail Discordia asks, intimate question for Meat Jason. Why do you have nearly the same taste in movies and games as I do? Because you and I are clones. I thought you would have gotten the newsletter by now. Steve Shives asks, intimate question for Oswald. Why do I have these feelings?
Well, if you're anything like me, it's because your dad left your mom when you were a little baby, and because your mom likes to get high and date yucky guys who call you sport and try to touch your mom's dirty secret parts. I mean, if you're like me, you know, full of repressed rage.
Armored Skeptic asks, intimate question for AJ. Can you say, that's what they want you to believe for me? I love that shit.
I am not a performing monkey, you know. I just don't spat out hackneyed phrases because I'm a blathering paranoid. I'm a learned monster with years of education and training. Don't fall for the powers that be's disinformation portraying me as a dangerous whack job. That's what they want you to believe. Oh, God damn it!
Radical Bacon asks, intimate question for Oswald. What's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell is puppy tummies, or maybe Tupperware, or maybe chocolate chip cookies, or chocolate chip cookie puppies inside of a Tupperware. Yeah, that's what it is.
Charles Kunkel Jr. asks, intimate question for AJ. Why don't you simply admit you're pissing along all these false conspiracy theories
to please your reptiloid overlords and draw attention away from their scheme to use the Illuminati and the World Bank to plant RFID chips in everyone. We know the truth. You can't hide it any longer.
Oh, Charles, it is very obvious that the reptilian overlords have been exposing you to their mind control beams emitted from your toilet bowl. One of the side effects of mind control beams is losing the ability to spell. Destroy your toilet immediately!
Well, that's it this time around. Remember, if you have a question that you want to ask Intimate Questions, leave it down below in the comment section. I promise that I'll at least read it. Might not pick it, but I will read it. And there is a system for picking them, so don't worry. If you haven't been selected, it's not because I don't like you. It's just because I made up a bunch of dumb rules about picking which questions get asked. I'm complicated that way. Anyway, until next time, my cloying little Klingons, this has been Jason with a D. You're still getting paid, aren't you? What does it matter if you're not on the show or not? Now you go tell Bezo to stop sending me messages through you because I'm tired of this two-party crap. We'll talk about this later. Hey everybody, it's me, just here to remind you that this Saturday, I will be doing once again another very public spanking of, and this week we're going to be doing alternative medicine. So join me, Finite Atticus, and Monkey Tail 2002, where we riff on videos from YouTube that feature alternative medicine topics. So be prepared for a lot of angriness, a lot of laughs, and drunkenness. Also, this Sunday, Steve Shives, my co-host, and I will be doing a very late seating review of Jaws. Why Jaws? Well, it's 4th of July Day weekend, for one, where that movie kind of takes place. And also, two, it is one of our favorite films, and we really would like to have an in-depth talk about what is more than likely a contemporary classic. Well, it's contemporary. It's what, 40 years old? Is it 40 years old? God, I'm old. Anyway, join us on Sunday. I've listed all of the times for both of the shows down below in the comment section. Also, tonight at 7 o'clock Pacific time, I will be hosting another Friday Funhouse. For those of you who don't know, on Friday nights, for about an hour, I sit down with a couple of friends and we discuss what is basically a science topic. This time I might actually do a little bit of a game show. I've been trying to feel around what would be good for the Friday night show, and I think this will be the winning combination. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. But if you want to spend an hour laughing with me with off-the-cuff jokes, that's 7 o'clock live on Friday. And if you can't make it to any of these live shows, don't worry. They always get posted to YouTube, so you can listen to them at work. And maybe get fired over them, because you're not supposed to be listening to the Bizarre Puppet Man when you're at work. I hope that doesn't happen. But if you do lose your job, I can't get your job back for you.
Hello, all you Yankee Doodle dongles. Happy 4th of July. And now it's time to shout your name out with our patriotic magic name frame. Happy 4-day name frame.
Hey!
You want to come over to my house after the show and eat wieners and set off M80s? If you do, just don't tell my mom that I got fireworks. Or the police. Or my guidance counselor. And especially not my neighbor, because an M80 is destined for his mailbox.
I won't. Let's do the shout-outs.
Okay.
The Anonymous Atheist.
Hey, do you wear that happy scary mask face cause you got all burned with acid? Are you like the Phantom of the Atheism?
Borg Muffin Man.
I don't like Borg muffins. They try to assimilate your tummy.
Peanut Berry.
I love peanut berry jam. I put it on some pumpernickel bread with some peanut butter and eggplant, and then I serve it to my mom on her birthday. I watch her eat the whole thing, and then she goes to the hospital to get her stomach pumped. Oh, family traditions.
Wolverine.
That's what happens when a wolf and a reindeer has a baby.
Pro Dovahkiin.
I played Skyrim. My character was named Tinkles, and he just kind of stood around Riften staring at stuff. It was awesome.
Canary Impulse 989.
I had the canary impulse sometimes to try to fly. So I paint myself yellow and I climb onto the roof of my house, but then I usually get scared because it's so high and I stay there until the fireman comes and gets me.
Dinosaur Will.
I told my teacher that is the way you're supposed to spell dinosaur. But I still got an F.
Duh Idiot 1.
I belong to the Duh Idiot Club. I'm Duh Idiot 5326. Hello, brother.
To kill a demon.
Okay, so this is how you kill a demon. First, you gotta put on a cloak of ancient slumbers, like my mom's bathrobe. Then, you gotta get a wand of stickiness, like that weird vibrating one that my mom has in her nightstand. Then you say the magic words, "Stop touching my mom, you foul demon!" And then you hit him with the vibrating stick thingy, and the demon gets mad, but then you hit him again until he don't move no more. Then Mom buries the demon in the root cellar and makes you cocoa, and you promise to never tell anybody what happened.
Wasabi Neanderthal.
You are one hot caveman. Okay, all done.
Remember, if you subbed and you would like to have a retarded monster and a withering magic picture frame, shout your name out, then leave a request down in the comments section.
Oh boy, Dave Frame, I loved your 4th of July. Fireworks, wieners, that skinny, beardy Santa Claus guy who wears that red, white, and blue tuxedo, my neighbor's mailbox exploding all over the place.
Yeah, it's great. Independence Day is fun.
What's Independence Day?
It's today.
There's 2 holidays today? I thought it was just the 4th of July. I love America.
Oh, Trudeau here with even more suggestions for what you could have done instead of watching YouTube. Microblogism says, instead of watching the show, I could have learned to fart the alphabet. Well, when you do teach yourself the fartabet, don't do it in a small room, or around any open flame, or in front of a girl you want to impress, or a mental health professional, or anyone for that matter. Unofficial 13th Doctor says, instead of watching this, I could have been celebrating getting a good bachelor's degree in ecology, especially given that you called me an idiot for watching Opinion-Ville instead of revising. Thank you for helping me pass. Well, you're welcome, Unofficial 13th Doctor. Now be sure to send 10% of your future income to me, Trudeau Magoosh. That's Magoosh with 2 O's. Mope Brad says, instead of watching this, I could have unbraided my cat's down their hair. Oh. Excuse me for a moment. Note to self. Remember to look for a new segment to host. Armored Skeptic says, instead of watching a middle-aged nerd playing with his homemade imaginary friends, I could have been training my horse to stop trying to run away every time he sees a cow. Well, do I look imaginary to you, Armored Skeptic? I am Filth and Polyfoam. At least I'm not afraid of cows. I'm afraid of kindergartners. Filthy, stupid little creatures. TC the Unbeliever says, instead of watching this, I could have been using my Mr. Microphone to pick up chicks on the street. Oh, did you travel here from 1986? Don't you think the future is really disappointing?